Someone needs mental evaluation ASAP.
What is this? What is this, Sheena? What you mean with discharge papers? Discharge paper from the hospital saying you pregnant. It's discharge. No, ain't no. Man, you gotta explain that shit. Putting a gun under my head. No, I don't give a none of that. I don't give none of that. No, you finna talk to me.
I ain't gotta talk to you.
You finna talk to me. I'm putting my gun under the paper saying you pregnant. We wasn't to get what you mean. It ain't mine. It's not mine. How the hell? I'm saying how the I'm gonna get pregnant by somebody? We wasn't together when it happened. But you back at my house. You back living in my house. And you got
give me enough time to tell your ass.
It ain't
all you do is jump up and leave. I tried to tell you last time.
It's not mine. So I'm saying it's not my baby though.
It's not.
So who the is what you talking about? That's the problem. I know it ain't mine. So I did the math. I did the math. I did the math. It ain't mine. Okay, that's what I said. So what you told? So what's
not? But you gonna take care of it.
You got me for? Who's taking care of it? Who's taking care of it? You got me.
I guarantee you gonna take care of it.
I guarantee you.
I've been dealing with your for 8 years, man. You do what you want to do.
But I ain't never had no baby on you though.
I don't do. Pregnant, and I'm keeping it.
So you not finna stay at my house? You not finna stay at my house? You not finna stay at my house? You not finna stay. I'm gonna put you out. Your shit gonna be there. I guarantee you.
I was watching this clip, and you know, obviously I'm outraged. A lot of people were outraged that watched this clip, and you know, I gotta be curious. I gotta be honest. I wanted to see how black women were gonna wiggle their way out of this one because they co-signed every fucked up thing that each other do. Okay, that's the sisterhood, by the way. You know, if you go against the sisterhood, they will come for your wig. All right, I'm just talking to other black women and shit because, as we well know, if you're black and you have a peen and shit, you're just, you know, you're a victim of the modern day Jim Crow. You know, just the modern day racism. You know, they're wearing the white hoods these days. You know, I won't go in any further. I just want to talk about this shit and say, like, you know, you see things like this, and then you think about how they don't want you to leave the country or just opt out. You know, even though they do that shit on the regular and just brag and talk it up and shit like it's the bee's knees and shit. You know, dating out and traveling and having all these great experiences and talking about their education and how they have the most businesses and blah, 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 blah. But we don't see none of that shit. We always see the motherfuckers in the side holster of white supremacy and shit. Talking trash and shit. And I gotta admit, I don't know what the fuck's going on in this clip. Because if I was that dude, you know, if I was that guy's friend, I would just tell him, hey, dude, don't even go in there and fuck with her. Let's let the law do it and shit. You know, let's take a page out of, you know, black females book and shit, that proxy violence shit, right? So what you do, you just go down to the courthouse and you file an eviction, you know, and then you evict her so she can join the rest of her similarly minded and similarly behaving, criminally minded women out there on the curb and shit, okay, in winter. Right? That snow is coming down pretty fucking hard, you know, for these goddamn sisters, and they ain't gonna change nothing. They're like, hey, I'd rather die. I'd rather die than you know, change my ways and shit. And with this female, I don't even know to classify her as a female. Okay, there's that argument that they raised on Capitol Hill and shit like a year and a half ago when you had this insane woman, this mentally ill black woman in a position of power, talking to Congress and telling them that men can have babies. This is a man just having a baby. Yeah, I think it's a goddamn shame. Like they can't change their programming. They're henchmen for white supremacy. I'm serious. I'm thinking about that woman on Capitol Hill telling, you know, a congressman, you know, telling a politician that a man can have a baby. And she's supposed to be an academic. She wasn't taken out. They didn't put the butterfly net on her. Or Mean Gene, the dancing machine, didn't come out and, you know, start dancing while she was talking. Showing my age. If anybody's my age and they hear that, they'll know who Mean Gene the Dancing Machine is. We living in an insane Orwellian society and shit, But for black people, it just stays the same, man. It's leftovers and shit, leftovers from chattel slavery. And hey, kings, it's okay. You don't have to move in silence and shit. You can tell them bitches you leave and say, hey, I'm leaving and shit. I don't want to be with, I don't want to be with Gorilla Wits here, okay? I don't want to be a stepdaddy against my will. She told him he was going to take care of that baby, okay? And that's what a lot of black women are telling you and shit. You have to sit on the shelf and shit and wait for them to pull you down off the bench, man. So that you can take care of the progency of their lust. The men they actually wanted, the dudes they wanted, no matter what the classification and nomenclature is, you're going to be a stepdaddy because I said so. And you're going to call me God. All right? And then, when it suits me, I'm going to be a delicate little flower and shit, dragging my knuckles across the floor, okay, while I'm, waiting to have this baby so that you can take care of it and I can go out and have another one. All right? I don't give a shit. I know it's an egregious stereotype. But what would you have me do with shit? You want to keep us locked up down here? You want to keep us sitting in this petri dish and shit, rotting away, while the world just, slouches towards Bethlehem, I should say. All right? Yeah, I call this surviving KEISHA shit. So my advice to this brother is to, don't say shit. Don't appear at the house right away. If you could go to a friend's house, just go to a friend's house for a couple of days and, call off from work and take your ass down to the courthouse and file an eviction to get her out of your house legally, okay? Legally. Don't fuck with her or nothing. And then you take that eviction notice and you drive over to the police station and you give it to them and they'll you might have to pay them in some states. But you go get the sheriff, you go to the sheriff's department, and then you all drive over there and they put her out. That's all. They just put her out. And if she ain't there, you can put her shit out on the curb and they'll be there to let her know. They'll go serve her at her job. And she can come pick her shit up. And if she act crazy, you can call the sheriffs again. As a matter of fact, I will do an addendum to that. Besides filing an eviction notice, you should also get an order of protection. You can pay for that, okay? You can pay for. I know in LA you can pay for it. It's like $200 fucking man, shit. Unless you're in a part of an active criminal case or something, or whoever the powers that be feel the need to put an envelope of protection around you. It's like it happened with me a couple of times. Yeah, just evict her, man, and get an order of protection so that she can't contact you in any way. She has to stay 100 yards away from you. All right, and if she comes around there, make sure you get your cameras out, okay? Cover your ass because, allegations and everything. He hit me and he did all this shit. And then while the sheriffs are busy evicting her, you take your evidence and you post it on social media, on Facebook and Instagram and everywhere that she traffics online. You post that on there. And then you post that video where she's telling you you're going to take care of some other nigga's child. All right? All right, baby daddy, right? We got to make sure that we keep these goddesses honest. All right, we got to make sure you keep them honest and shit. It's time for you guys to stop being quiet, to come out from behind the door and the cubby holes and shit, out of your room. It's time. Okay? It's time. If they want to keep us here and shit, let's make them regret it. If they don't want to change their behavior, make them regret it. Okay? Give them nothing. Take everything. Take everything humanly possible you can take. Okay? And you use their fucking tactics. And then when they ask you why you're doing this, you say, hey, strong, independent. You know the rest. SYSBM equals save yourself, black man. That is all, kings.
This message has been paid for by the Dusties. Yes, the niggas you love to hate.